Welcome then to another battle report of Warlords of Erehwon here at Black Dragon Miniatures. I'm joined today by Sam, one of our local gamers here. So we're going to be playing a 1250 point game of Warlords. Okay, I'll be running a knight list, which is predominantly Bretonnians from the old GW range. Sam is going to be running a mixture of Celts and Vikings who are acting as the Barbarian list. Okay, so if you're interested in learning a little bit more about the game, the previous battle report we did was a sort of demo battle report, so I'll put a link to that in the description below. This one is just going to be more of a battle report, so what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at the lists. Okay, we're going to look at the board, let you know what's happening on the scenario, and then we'll get straight into it. Okay, so we'll go and have a look at the lists. To start with, we have a unit of men-at-arms with halberds. We have a second unit of men-at-arms with halberds. Both of these have got 10 men and medium armour. We have a priest with 2 bodyguard. We have a unit of 8 Knights of the Realm. Okay, we have the leader of the this warband, Duke de Dragon Noir, and 4 bodyguard. The bodyguard are armed with lances. The Duke has a magic sword. We have the damsel with spirit familiar, Felix the cat. We have 2 units of 6 archers. Both units are armed with longbows. And we have a knightly champion, the Green Knight. Okay, also has a magic weapon. Okay, and that is a list for the knights, consisting of 9 order dice. Okay, so we now have an 11 dice barbarian list. Okay, so we're going to start with the Warlord. Okay, so here's the Warlord and 4 bodyguard. We then have a unit of barbarian warriors with hand weapons, so 10 of them. We have another unit of 10 barbarian warriors, hand weapons, same again. We then have a unit of 9 with spears, a unit of 5 berserkers, small cavalry unit for flanking, which is 3-man cavalry unit. We have chariot number 1 with a crew armed with spear. Chariot number 2 has scythed wheels and crew armed with a bow. And then we have Sam's allied bear. Okay. This is the board we're going to be playing on. So the Barbarians have come into the area by boat. We're going to be playing on the short table edges. Okay, so they're basically deploying off the boat. The 3 crew on there are just there decoratively to protect the boat. They have no effect in game. Okay, so this indicates the barbarian deployment. So they're going to sort of surge over the bridge and try and take on the Bretonnian town and associated fort at the back there. Okay, so that's going to be the board. All right. So the scenario today is a meeting engagement. So all units will, or the barbarians will basically be trying to come onto the board and get off the end. The knights will be trying to stop them by repelling them. Okay. So we'll go through the scenario when we start. We're going to do a fire. We're going to just check the range. Do that actually. Okay. What we'll do, we'll give a run order to guys over here. The threat range. These guys are going to run order. The castle there. Okay. Run order. So I think let's just run up. Boom. Just like that. The knights. Okay. So we know that the knight out of range effectively put them advance, so the dice will go back in the bag. They're not going to...
The Barbarians. Here 2, just forwards.
So
Lines 2.
we have 5 on a human, I think. So it says 7. You still managed to get the.
Again. So, cavalry is just going.
Unit, as long as you clear the chariot. If you wanted to sprint through, it's 8, 16, 20.
Yes. Okay. To here.
Yeah.
People lying around.
An agility check on them.
5 again.
Arranged with these archers, we're still short, so effectively, just don't do it. Testing their range. The priest is. You now then, Sam.
Start the chariot.
We know we're not going to be in turn, and really all we're doing is they are going to come back at the end of turn. And
Sort of agility check.
oh, stay just to see that you pass an agility check when they're up. Okay, so we'll see you at the. In the exchange of missile fire, the cat familiar
gets to fire, and also the 3 cavalry get to fire. So we're looking for 3s. The barbarians are on red dice, the cat is on an orange dice. Cat missed, and so did the knight. So no exchange of fire. Okay, going into combat. So the knights have, or not the knights, the barbarian horsemen. Are they horses or war horses?
They are just horses.
So no attacks with them.
So
So just your 3 guys with the spears. So you're charging, so +1 strength.
So I'm hitting on 6s.
On 6s is what we're after. On red dice. And that's 2 successes at strike value 1. Okay. The wizard. So it's 1 hit on the wizard and 1 hit on the familiar. Okay, so the wizard is res 5 and so is the cat familiar. Okay, so in the exchange of missile fire, the cat familiar gets to fire, and also the 3 cavalry get to fire. So we're looking for 3s. The barbarians are on red dice, the cat is on an orange dice. Cat missed, and so did the knight. So no exchange of fire. Okay, going into combat. So the knights have, or not the knights, the barbarian horsemen. Are they horses or war horses?
They are just horses.
So no attacks with them.
So
just your 3 guys with the spears. So you're charging, so +1 strength.
So I'm hitting on 6s.
On 6s is what we're after. On red dice. And that's 2 successes at strike value 1. Okay. The wizard. So it's 1 hit on the wizard and 1 hit on the familiar. Okay, so the wizard is res 5 and so is the cat familiar. Okay, so the wizard is going to be the blue dice. The wizard is tough and also has a wound. Okay, so let's see what happens here. So we're looking at 4s. So the wizard, but the dies. Okay, however, before it dies, it's simultaneous, and so does the wizard. The wizard is armed with a sword. 2 dice is on a 6. Orange. Okay, so against the barbarians. Both of these are at strike value 1.
So I shall put 1 on the leader, which will be the purple dice, and they are saving on 7s.
So strike value 1.
Yeah, on res 8.
Okay, so res 8 down to 7. Okay, both saved.
All fine.
Okay, however, because they've taken the 2 pins from sprinting twice, and the wizard only takes 1 pin for the loss of the cat, the knights have actually lost the combat, and as such need to make a break test. So their command is 8 minus 2, so 6 or less. And an 8 says they fail, so they now add d6 pins. 3, so they're on 5, and they fall back. M. The wizard won this combat. Consolidate. Now, because she knows she's in the threat range of that chariot, she's actually going to... Okay. Okay, so the wizard has retreated back with a pin. The next action was the knights choosing a run order. So the Duke, realising that a charge into the chariot would leave him quite exposed, has just edged back slightly. So it's now back to the barbarians. We've measured the distance and the chariots are out of charge range now, but it is the chariot's go. So he's got to make a decision what he does with one of these.
So,
will it be the right decision, Sam?
More than likely not. we shall see. So, I think this one is going to run. Ooh, he's just going to risk it, I think.
There he's going to plough 16 inches.
Right there.
Over to there. Okay, so it's now the Green Knight's go. So the Green Knight's going to do a bit of maths shenanigans here, because I think if he charges into the chariot, wins the combat and consolidates 8 back, he might be able to get away from the second chariot that's currently on the bridge. So we're just going to do a bit of calculations on that. Okay, so after the working out the shenanigans, basically the Green Knight can charge the chariot. If he is successful and wins the combat, he can effectively consolidate back out of charge range of both the Barbarian unit that's come off the boat and the chariot. So he's going to charge in. So the Barbarian chariot rider does have a spear, so he needs a 3 to hit, which he's got. Now, because I'm fast, we would normally have to force him to re-roll that, but you never re-roll 1, so that's still a hit, which means I am going to take a pin. But I am also armour 9, spear is strike value 1, so an 8 or less is required, and a 3, so no damage but a pin. Okay, so here we go with the fight. The Barbarian chariot has 2 crew. The horses are just normal horses, so they don't get an attack. Against the Green Knight, who has 3 attacks and gets 1 attack with his warhorse. So the warhorse is the blue. His attacks are the orange dice. He is armed with helm cleaver, which is +1 strength. Okay, which basically means that he is on strength 6 base, up to 7, 8 for charging. So 8's on the orange, 6 is on the blue. Okay, so it's only 2 successes. Okay, the Barbarians get 2 attacks back. These guys are armed with strength 5. One is armed with a sword, and one is armed with a spear. So the sword is the red dice, so he's going to be hitting on a 6. Purple dice is on a 5. And both missed. Okay, so it's 2 hits at strike value 3 against the chariot. Chariot's toughness is 10, so 7s. And that's 1 failure. Okay, so it's now a roll on the chariot chart. So here we go with the damage roll for the chariot, which is a 4. So a draft animal is struck. One or both of the draft animals are badly hurt in a fearsome clash. You take 1 plus D3 pins. So 2 pins in total. And the unit goes down and its move is reduced to 1M for the rest of the game. However, because it was a challenge, at the end of that combat, the Green Knight wins the combat because he's only got 1 pin. The chariot's got 2. So under the challenge rule, the opposing unit or the losing unit is automatically destroyed. So that is gone. And the Green Knight gets to consolidate away from any threat. Okay, so the Green Knight has fallen back to the safety of the village, and it's the last Barbarian chariot. He sort of needs to get off the bridge a bit anyway. It's just how far he wants to commit forward.
I think he's just going to go just there. I think, yep.
Okay. Right, so that's those orders all carried out. So it's Barbarian dice.
So these guys are going to try and make their way off the bridge.
Is sprinting or running?
They are going to sprint.
Okay.
To there.
Agility check. It's 5 or less. And that says they take a pin. They obviously haven't had their Lucozade this morning, these Barbarians.
This is my first game.
Okay, next dice.
It's Barbarians again.
Right.
Again. So, my shaman is going to sprint.
Yep.
Should get nicely to here. He is agility 5 again.
Yep. Yeah, he's past it. Still out of range with fireball, I think. 20 inches isn't going to get him anywhere.
No.
No.
This is the Knights.
Okay. So I think we're going to. In fact, what we're going to do, we're going to try the wizard first. She's going to try and pass an order check. So the damsel is command 8, -1 down to a 7. So 7 or less. So she passes, removes her pin, and she's going to cast a fireball at the chariot. So we're looking for a 9 or less on a fireball. And we've got an 8, which isn't very good, and obviously the enemy wizard's still around, so in actual fact we're going to use our conjuration. So she only gets 1 a turn, sorry, 1 per game, so she's going to use it now, see if she can get better than 8. 7 marginally, so a bit of a waste of time there, but no doubt Sam's going to try and dispel it on a 6 or less. Oh, look at that. So she does still manage to get the fireball off. So actually the conjuration worked, because if she hadn't have used the conjuration, she wouldn't have got the fireball off. So it's a D3 +1 fireballs on the chariot. So it's 4 hits at strike value 1. So the chariot is going to be saving on a res 10 -1. So we need 9. So any noughts is what we're after. No. Pin wise, the shaman gets a pin for failing to dispel, and the chariot takes 2 pins from the fireball as it's a fire attack, so double pins.
It is the Knights again.
Okay, so I've got a feeling that chariot's now in range of these archers on the battlements, so we're going to just check whether that's within 30. Fairly sure it is. So we've measured the range, and we are in. We are actually looking for 6s, because it is +1 for fire order, +1 for large target, -1 for over 10 inches. So we're looking for 6s, which is 5 hits. However, because it's a fast unit and it's got a run order, we are re-rolling those successes. So we're now on 5 dice. Again, still looking for 6s. And this time only the 1. So it's enough for the pin, and if we're lucky, Sam will roll a 0 and it will... Nope, so just the pin. Okay. Okay, so Sam is got an order check here. Well, not an order check actually, just going to run something up over the bridge.
You're going to sprint with the berserkers.
Okay, so agility of 5 and a 9 says they take a pin. Okay, but they do get the 15. Okay, so the priest is just going to, again, stand where he is under his tree, meditating, calling on the favours of the Lady of the Lake.
So it is me. So, Bear
Okay,
is going to...
so what's the speed of the bear? Is it 5 or?
Just 5, yeah.
Yeah, so,
So, he's going to sprint up behind...
okay, well what's the agility of a bear? You sure you want to sprint? You're not very good at sprinting, although it does have 4 legs as opposed to 2.
Agility of a bear is 5.
Ah, okay, 5, that roll that you always get. And a pin for the bear as well. There, up the bear. Bear is now on the bridge. Picking up a lot of pins.
Yeah. Ooh. And it is the Knights.
Okay, foot knights are going to just stay in the tavern, because they think that they'd rather drink mead than come out and deal with these Northmen.
It is the Northmen.
Okay.
So, these Northmen will
Need to do an order check first. Warlords too far away, so you'll be on a 7 as they've got a leader left still.
8.
Yeah, -1.
Oh yeah.
7. And finally past a pin check. Not sprinting then?
No, just running.
Okay.
That is the Knights.
Okay. Knight archers on the battlements will just knock their arrows.
Knights again.
The men at arms holding the centre of the village will just hold where they are.
Me, Barbarians. So, these spearmen here are just going to run up behind the bear.
Okay.
We're up to the start of the bridge.
Don't forget to pay the tollmaster.
This is my warlord. He's just going to start wandering over to the bridge.
If you want, you can run across the boat onto the other side if you want. Otherwise, you're going to have too many.
Yeah.
No, from where they were, just go 10 straight across and on the other side of the river.
Straight over.
So if anyone's seen the Kirk Douglas Viking movie, they've danced across the oars and got to the other side. Probably going to hold ground as well. And that's the end of turn 2. Okay, so we're at the start of turn 3, so we're on retained orders. We have the Knights of the Duke down here, we have the Green Knight over in the village, we have the Chariot in the centre, and obviously the Cavalry who are in route. Now, under the rules, if you've got the same amount of units on a run order at the start of the turn, you dice off to see who goes first. So a little bit of a discussion here. We're not quite sure on the answer, so I'll come back and let you know later on in the game as and when we get the confirmation. Because a unit is in route, it does count as a fast unit with a retained run order. So it seems a little bit unfair that a routing unit can confer the bonus. Otherwise, obviously, the Knights would go first. So we're going to play it as we're going to dice off, and if we're wrong, we'll let you know. If we're right, we'll let you know. So whoever gets the lowest, as it's lowest is best, isn't it? So let's go with the lowest wins. Knights get a 7, and the Barbarians get a 3. So the Barbarians get to choose their first unit. So Sam, are you going to choose your active chariot or your routing cavalry?
I think I'll choose the Chariot.
Oh, shock horror.
But I have just remembered, it is missing a draft horse.
Not that one, it isn't.
No, yeah.
So yeah, that one is perfectly fine. It's the other one that's all smashed up in front of you that is the one that's missing something. So what are you going to do? Are you going to possibly charge something?
I am most hopefully going to charge something. I'm just not sure.
You've got 24-inch max.
I think I'm going to have to try and soften up these.
And try and punch a hole through the
halberdiers.
The halberdiers holding the centre of the village there. Okay, not a bad idea. So in it goes. Whilst it's got 3 pins, it doesn't actually have to take an order test. It's a retained order. Okay, but those 3 pins may come to hurt it shortly. So this one is the Scythe Chariot. Appreciate it doesn't actually have the scythes on the model, but this one has been pointed as a scythe chariot. D6 plus 1.
Yes.
No, D6 strike value 1, impact hits. Oh, typical. Okay, so we've got 6 hits at strike value 1. However, this also has irresistible charge, so it's an additional D3 to the strike value. Thankfully, only 1. Okay, so we've got 6 hits to resolve, but also there is the exchange of fire, and he's got a guy on there with a bow. So on a 3, you do another hit, which again he gets. So that's also more damage. So that's a pin for the shot. Now we have 6 saves at strike value 2 to make.
Oh, that's just straight hits, isn't it?
And we've got 1 on a bow. So we can allocate all of those accordingly. So I'm going to allocate the bow to my leader because he gets the tough reroll. So he'll be the blue dice, and unfortunately the orange dice are the ones being hit by the chariot. So my men at arms are armor 7 because they've got medium armor. So the oranges will be saving on 5s or less, and the blue will be saving on a 6 or less. Okay, so we've got 3 guys killed by the chariot. The leader is wounded by the bow, but he's got tough, so he gets to reroll, and he's still looking for a 6 or less, which is cocked. Although it's a 6 and a 2, we'll reroll it. 4, so he's okay. So we take 3 casualties from the charge of the chariot. So this is pre-combat, so they effectively die, and puts me on 4 pins. Okay, so we now get the attack. So Sam's chariot just has the 2 crew on it. One is armed with a sword, the other one is armed with... Well, in fact, both are armed with swords because the bow guy gets to swap his weapon. So charging, so 6s.
Yep.
And 7s because of +1 for the swords. So looking for 7s or less. A double 1. Okay, so you can only put 1 on the leader, or you can nominate 2.
I will nominate
Troops.
2 troops, I think.
Okay, so 2 troops looking for 6s. 1 more dies. That's not good, so they're now up to 5 pins. Okay, however, he does get to fight back, so it's 3, 6 in total. Okay, and my guys are strength 5 +1 because they're armed with halberds, so we're looking for 6s. Oh my word. Okay, that's pretty bad. We do get 2 hits though. The advantage of the halberds is that they are strike value 2. So you're looking at 8s. And both survive. So that means I lose the combat 5 to 3. So that's a break test. My leader is still there, so I've got a command of 8, but -5 is a 3 or less. And a 4 means they fail. So it's D6 pins. And that destroys them because that is 10. Okay, so that's that unit destroyed, and the chariot will get to consolidate. So after the chariot smashed the hole in the poor halberdiers, it's wheeled round and taken a little bit more of a defensive position, holding the crossroads as opposed to pushing on into the village. As Sam went round, he after all of the dead men at arms disappeared, he suddenly noticed that the knights had finally come out of the inn, and that was enough to send the chariot backwards. Okay, so the next retained run order is the Green Knight, who's going to try and finish off this chariot that's just wiped out all of his serfs. Okay, so we've got a bow, so it needs a 3 to hit. Missed, so no pin. Okay, and then we have 2 attacks from the Barbarians, armed with swords, so on 6s. Do those first, it's simultaneous. 1 success, so I need a 8 or less. So no damage for the knight, and this is a challenge again, remember. So we now have 3 attacks with the knight and 1 with the horse. 3 hits with the knight, and the horse failed to hit. So the knight, green knight, is at strike value 3. So 10 down to 7. So 7s or less. And failed. However, you lose the combat 3-1. So we don't actually have to roll on the chariot table because it's a challenge. It's automatically destroyed. So that's another chariot taken down by the green knight. The Lady of the Lake will be proud. And again, due to the threat of the oncoming Northmen or Barbarians, he's going to pull back and hold the centre of the village. Okay, so the next order is the knights here, who are on a retain run due to being broken. So they're going to go 16, which puts them nicely in this little spot here by the toll booth. And if Sam doesn't rally this unit, they're going to be off the board at the start of next turn, taking no further part. Okay, so that then leaves the Knights of the Realm. So with the Knights, what they're going to do is they're going to move down the path, get into a position where they can influence the game at the start of next turn. Right, okay, so to start of turn 3 proper. So Sam, if you want to draw a dice.
Yep. It is the Barbarians.
Okay.
So, I think...
Tell you what we're going. Okay, so Sam has the first order dice.
So, I think my shaman is going to move.
Okay, so order check first. You've got a pin.
He is command 8, so 7.
7 or less. 7 says he's okay. And pin removed.
And he is just going to nudge round to here and then cast fiery balls
Yeah.
your
On my knights. Okay. So he's in 20.
Yep.
So on a 9 or less, it will go off. 5. Did you want to... You happy with that?
Oh, yeah, I'm happy with that.
Okay, I will try and dispel it. And a 2 says that it's dispelled and the fire dissipates. Next dice.
It is me again. So, I think my berserkers are going to advance.
Okay, so again, order check.
They are command 8 again, so 7.
Oh dear, so they actually go down.
10 says they stay there.
Berserkers are not so berserk at the minute. Timid berserkers.
And it is the knights.
So, I think the obvious thing is the wizard fireballing the unit with a pin. So, definitely within 20. Okay, so already used my conjuration, so I'm just going to have to go with whatever I get, which is an 8. So, it should be relatively easy for the...
I'm going to try and dispel that.
Yeah. And an 8, so it does go off.
I do take a pin.
And I'll take the pin for the wizard. Okay, so it's D3. So that's 2 plus 1 for the magic level. So that's 3 strike value 1 hits on the unit.
I think I will just put them on troops.
So it's D, yeah, so 3, and it's
They are armour 7.
armour 7, so down to 6s. 2 fails, so two guys fall, and 2 pins for the flame attack.
Put some on 3.
And 2 guys die. So next dice out the bag, Sam.
Knights again.
Right. Okay. Okay. I'm going to see if these archers are in range. see if we can plant some more pins on that unit. No, they're not, so that's not an option. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to advance, I'm going to run the priest out here to take up an offensive position. Making sure we're in 20 of the enemy shaman. Okay, next dice. Is a barbarian dice.
I think these warriors over here are going to run forwards,
Yeah.
ready to face the halberdiers.
So they've only gone about 5 there, yeah? That's what you want to do?
Yep.
Does it make any difference whether I attack you there, or are you hoping I'm going to attack you and get a pin, or
I'm hoping
Or
to
you-
draw you out a little bit.
draw me out, even though the scenario is you've got to get off the other end?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's obviously a tactic there, which baffles me, but there we go. So next time. Okay,
Again.
it's you again.
So
It's got to be the bear, surely.
it's going to be the bear.
Who's pinned, so order check on the bear.
He is.
So he is an allied bear, so at least if he fouls this, he's not going to go and kill all of the barbarians on the bridge, although that would be epically funny.
So he's command 8,
Yeah, so down to a 7. And a 1, so he's fine.
and he is going to sprint.
Okay, so he's sprinting again. The bear's bounding forwards. 15 inches.
Gets me to there.
Okay.
And here's the knights.
Okay, so these archers are going to just effectively stay where they are because they're at range of everything.
Barbarians. So, Warlord is going to run.
Okay.
And the knights again.
Okay, I'm going to move my knights in the village out just to take up the position that the dead halberdiers had. So here they go.
This is the barbarians again.
Okay.
So, the spearmen are going to sprint.
Yep.
Fill this gap here. With an agility of
5,
5.
9, so they take a pin.
Barbarians again. So I think these ones right here are going to rally.
Okay, so on your Warlord's command value, if it's any difference,
Is 8.
so 8 or less. So D6 pins removed. So you get the 1 for the order check and 1 removed, so down to 1.
Down to 1 pin. It is the knights.
Okay, so have we measured this distance here?
You are within a sprint distance.
2, 4, 6, 8. So 10 barbarians versus 10 halberdiers. Possibly taking a pin on the way in. No exchange of fire whatsoever. Halberds versus axes. Out. They will just hold their ground. Because I'm also subsequently next turn, the barbarians would have to sprint to engage. However, no. What I'm going to do, I am going to take it because I get +1 strength with the halberds, +1 for charging. So it's +2/+2, and the barbarians will be at +1/+1. So we're going to go for it because
Why not?
why not? Exactly. So so we need to do a sprint. So 5 or less, and a 2 says they're okay. And in they go. So, really need this to come off, otherwise I have a very weak flank. And whilst it might have looked as if the knights were in total control in this so far, with a couple of chariots destroyed, etc., the sheer weight of barbarians coming across that bridge, and the fact that I've already lost effectively a third of my infantry. My archers are getting exposed on range, so being positioned in the fort there is limiting their use. So we'll see. So let's roll this out and see what happens. Okay, so here we go. So men at arms first. So strength 5, +1 for charging, +1 for the halberd. So we're looking for 7s. 3 misses. So it's 7 hits. So gotta love statistics. It doesn't really matter about the ones. So strike value 2. So you're saving on 5s. You put 1 on your leader?
No, I think I'm just going to put them on troops for this.
Okay. So 6 saves. 7 saves, sorry.
On 5s.
And that is 3 fails. So it'll be 3 down and 3 pins. So it's whether the one with the banner is your leader. Okay, so with the return 10 dice, I presume that's a perfectly healthy unit, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so 10 dice, armoured swords, so 5s up to 6s. Okay, that's quite a few misses, so it's only 3 successes.
Yep.
And I will put blue dice on my leader. So strike value 1, I'm 7, down to 6. And that's all of them saved. So that's going to be a break test at -3. So 8 down to 5. 2 says they're okay. So we will fight the next round of combat. As I have the advantage. So I'm winning the combat, so again I get +1. So +1 for the winning and +1 for the strength bonus of the halberd. So we're looking for 7s. And 3 misses. 3, 6, so missed or dice out, so just roll that one. Okay, so it's a total of 7 hits again. Couldn't work my maths out then. So 7 hits at strike value 2. You have 7 left in the unit, so one of them has to be on your leader this time.
So the purple one will be the leader.
Yep. And again, saving on 5s. Strike value 2. This time 4 die. Strike value 2, so down to 5s.
Yep.
So that's going to put you on 7 pins at the end of this. However, you do get the return attack still, which is 7 dice back. And you're looking for 6s. See if you can actually get some this time, Sam. Wow, Okay,
All of them.
so all of them. So 2, 4, 6, 7. So 3, 6, and we will put 1 on the leader. So looking for 6s. This time 2 fall, but it's enough for the halberdiers to earn the victory. You need a 1 to keep them in the fight. No, D6 wins, which is going to automatically take you over, so they're destroyed. The halberdiers get to consolidate, and I need to remove 2 of their models. Okay, so next dice is these archers who are out of range, but the barbarians are just going to try and rally to try and get this cavalry unit back in the fight. So they need to do a command check on an 8 or less. Which they do. They can take D6 pins off of the cavalry. 2, so it takes them down to a 3. And they get to do the all-important command roll on the cavalry. So 8 minus 3, so 5 or less. Otherwise, they're going to run off the board at the end of this, the start of the next turn. And they do. So they're now effectively a down order. Okay. So, end of the turn, just a bit of a recap as we're halfway through the battle. What was going quite well for the Knights initially, having lost a unit of men-at-arms fairly cheaply in the middle there, a couple of bodies down on the other flank. I've really only got the Green Knight and 8 men-at-arms and 8 knights holding the village. I do still have, obviously, my cavalry here. As stated earlier, the archers are a little bit out of range at the moment. We do still have a lot of barbarians here, and if they can start getting into combat and rolling a little better, then it could all be changed. So turn 4 coming up. Okay, so start of turn 4. No retained run orders this time, so everything's just drawn from the bag.
First dice is the Knights.
Okay, so I think those men-at-arms are just going to stay where they are. Okay. Didn't really want the first dice.
This is the Barbarians.
Here we go now. So lots of pins, so plenty of order checks to be done.
So, I think my shaman is going to stand and cast if he can pass his order test.
Yep, so he's on a 7, which he does. Fireballs at who?
At your knights.
Okay. So 9 or less. In 8. Did you want to use your conjuration?
Yeah. Use that.
6, so slightly better. Shaman's going to try and dispel it. So I need a 5 or less, which doesn't happen. So she takes a pin, and it's a D3 plus 1 fireball attack. 4, which isn't very nice. So I'm going to put 1 on my leader. Okay. Armour 9, down to 8s. So 1 knight falls to the fire. And 2 pins. And that's where the battery's died. Okay, so next dice.
Here's the Barbarians.
Barbarians.
So, I think the spearmen
Yeah.
are going to advance
Order check.
on a 7.
Yep. 2 says it right.
They're going to advance and prep for the knights.
Okay.
Me again. So, the bear is going to sprint
Okay.
and take the risk.
Okay, agility check. So 5 or less. 4. You're
alright.
okay. So next dice. Oh, more barbarians.
These guys are going to try and sprint
Okay, so order check.
on a
7. Yep.
Yep.
And then agility check for the sprint. 5 or less.
5 or less.
Yep.
More barbarians.
Berserkers.
Yes,
See if they're going to do anything. Order check on a 7.
Yes, they're going to try and run.
Okay. 8. No, they stay where they are. Go down.
Tis the knights.
Okay, so we will, I think, put some fire in from these on the fort. We'll either be firing at these ones or these, depending on what's in range. So let's see, Warlord and his unit have sprinted up.
That is the knights.
Green Knight's going to do a order check. Passed. And he's going to charge this depleted unit here. So no exchange of fire. Move the pin. We'll issue a challenge to the death. So blue dice is the horse, needs a 6. And the orange hit, so 2 hits by the Green Knight at strike value 3.
So we will put them on troops.
Yep, so saving on 4s or less. 1 dies. And then you have 6 dice back on 6s.
That is 4.
4 hits. Saving on 8s. 2 fails that can't be saved, so that's 2 pins. He does, however, still win the combat, which wipes your unit out. However, he's now only got 1 wound left. And he consolidates. Okay, so the Green Knight has consolidated more towards the fort. Okay, next dice.
Tis the knights.
Okay. Priest is going to hold his ground. In fact, these guys will do a rally. So d6 plus 1 removed.
Barbarians. So these warriors
Yep.
will run forwards
Okay.
just behind the berserkers.
Yep. Okay, next dice.
To the knights.
So the priest is going to hold ground.
That is my last dice. So the cavalry going to rally.
Yep. So 8 or less. 7. Yep. D6 plus 1. Yep. All pins are gone. And we've got one dice left, have we? Or?
It's just the knight's last dice.
Okay, so the knights in the village are just going to move forward. Okay, so new turn. There's no retained run orders, so just draw.
This is the Barbarians.
Oh, what's going to happen here?
So, the bear
Yeah.
is going to go for the knights.
Okay, however, the priest is going to call on the divine intervention
Yep.
of the fair lady. 9 or less. You want me to re-roll that? I'll re-roll that just on the chance. There you go. I'll have your order, please.
There you go.
Okay, and he will just drop back slightly and snigger. Next dice.
Barbarians.
Yeah.
So, the spearmen
Yeah.
are going to charge your knights
Okay.
with the sprint.
So in they come. Exchange of fire. You have is that 9-man unit actually? Because that's the one we added 1 to, isn't it? So 9 dice on 3s. Enough for some pins, definitely.
5.
5 hits. So 3, 4. So we'll go with 3 on the normal knights and 2 on the leader.
Yep.
So the 3 on the normal knights. 1 knight dies, and on the leader takes a wound. And I also have a pin for the exchange of fire. Okay, so 1 knight already speared on the way in. Okay, so 9 attacks, strength 6 for the charge. Bit better for me that. 4, 5.
5 hits.
5. So we'll have 2 on the guys. 1 each. Sorry, 1 each on the guys. 2 on the leader and 2 on the pink guy. So blue guy on the end, saving on an 8. Pink guy saving on 8. Leader saving on 8. All saved. Okay, so we now need to kill some spearmen. Okay, so we've got 3 horses, 5s, 2 hits at strike value 1. We have 2 lances at strike value 1, of which 1 hits. And then we have 3 attacks with the leader, who is hitting on 8s, 2 more hits, that's 5 hits at strike value 1 on the spearman.
So that will be on normal troops.
Yeah, so 7s down to 6s.
6s.
And they've all saved. So that means the knights lose the combat. However,
I will. Okay, keep it going.
yeah.
Don't you have to take a...
Okay, so due to the zealous rule, the knights basically don't take the pins into account when they're taking the break test. So 7 is a pass, and they've elected to fight on. So the barbarians are winning, so they still get the +1 strength. So they're on 6s. Lots of successes, so 4 misses, 6 hits, 2 on each. So the blue knight passed, pink knight passed, leader failed again, so it takes another wound, which is also another pin. Okay, so return attack, 3 horses, 5s, 1 hit, 2 lances, 1 hit, and the Duke, 2 hits. That's 4 saves at -1.
I will put 1 on the leader.
Yep. And it's 1 dead.
one guy and one pin.
So it's a break test again for the knights, and this time they fail, and they add d6 pins. 1. And it's a 2M move, and the spearman will consolidate. So the militia, seeing the enemy warlord, they're going to go for the jugular here, and they're going to charge. So they need to sprint. So it's agility 5. So they take a pin, but they do get in to combat. But however, they're taking a pin with them. Okay, so we have 2, 4, 6, 8 attacks. Okay, so 8 attacks. Charging, so +1 strength. Halberds +1 strength, so hitting on 7s. Don't want to see the noughts. And that is 5 hits, so it's 1 on each at strike value 2.
Yep, so the purple one is the leader.
Yeah.
Saving on 5s.
Okay. So it's 3 of the bodyguard fall. Okay, so you got 4 attacks back with your bodyguards.
Yep, hitting on 5s.
So +1 for hand weapons, 6s. Only 2 successes at strike value 1. What's your warlord arm with?
He has got Helm Cleaver.
Yep.
So he's hitting on 7s.
Yep. Okay, 2 with Helm Cleaver. What strike value is that?
It is -3.
-3. Armour 7. Okay, so my leader's still there, so I'm going to put one of the Helm Cleaver attacks onto the leader. So these are the 2 with the hand weapons first. Saved 1 dies. And then Helm Cleaver on 1 soldier. Dies. Helm Cleaver on the leader. 4 or less. With a reroll for tough. No, he goes down as well. So, unfortunately, due to that, I lose the combat 4-3. So that sprint cost me there. Okay, so order check. So it's a 7 now because I've lost my leader. -4, 3 or less. No, definitely not. So that's a break. D6 additional pins. 2, so they're still in the fight, as it were, but they are running in route. So off they go. Next dice.
For the knights.
Okay. My knights are going to issue a rally order on themselves, which they pass, and they will remove D6 pins. 3 pins from this unit here. And then we'll try a rally check, so 7 -3 is a 4 or less. See if we can get them back in, and they do. So they turn around. Okay, next dice.
Barbarians. So, Shaman
Yeah.
is going to run.
Yeah.
So there.
It's getting a bit desperate now. Shaman's running into the centre of the battlefield.
And then he's going to cast fiery balls on your
Knight? Yeah.
knight. So, 9 left.
Yeah, 9 less. 4. I'll try and dispel it. Nope. So it goes off.
It is D3 plus 1.
Yep. So 3. All saved.
2 more pins.
That's alright.
Barbarians. So, Berserkers are going to try and sprint.
Okay, order check. See if they'll actually. See if they've decided if they're going to be brave today.
That is a
7.
7.
Yep, this time they do. Agility check on a 5. Yep. Here they come. Finally.
Barbarians again. So these warriors here will sprint.
Yeah. Agility check. Nope, take a pin. This is what the knights feared. The barbarians flooding into the middle now with their weighted numbers. Okay, next dice.
For the knights.
Okay, rally order on the Green Knight. Yep, so removes D6 pins, currently on 4. And it's down to no pins.
Two pins.
Why?
He's got 2 wounds. Can't remove the last pin per wound.
Well, that's only if you came off the chariot. Or is that permanent?
I think that's permanent. While you've got a wound, you can't remove the last pin.
Okay, next dice.
For the barbarians. So the
Got Warlord and Cav. Cav have still got pins up there, or are they clear now?
No, they're all clear, so they're going to sprint.
Okay, so 24. 8, 16, 24, yeah.
They're going to go straight up behind the Warlord. With an agility of
5.
5. So 5 are left. Oh. They take the pin.
Warlord.
Our Warlord, who is going to rally.
Okay, so 9 or 8?
8.
No, so down he
Goes
goes.
down. And then the last 2 in the bag are for the knights.
Yep, so it's the wizard and the priest. The wizard will do an order check, first things first. Passed. And she will cast a fireball at the shaman for the barbarians.
Yep.
Passed on a 7, can't do anything about it, so
We'll try and dispel it.
yep. Which you do. Okay, and then the last dice is going to be a sprint combat with the priest versus the shaman,
Yep.
I think. I mean, I could hold them back, or could steal a dice. It could be important. What's the res of your shaman, wizard?
It is 5.
5. Get the charge bonus. Hitting on 7s. Strike value 1. So the priest is just going to hold ground where he is. Okay, that concludes that turn. So down orders. The barbarian warlord needs to test again, otherwise his dice isn't going back in the bag. Yep.
So,
You remove a pin first, because you remove a pin but go down.
of course, yeah.
Yep. So now it's command 8 minus 2, 6. If you fail to get the 6 or less, which you don't,
no.
you stay down. So that dice stays out.
Definitely down.
Anyone else was down? Don't think
believe
so. In fact, actually, the knights were down because they rallied, so they're back in. Okay, so that's going to be the end of the turn. So the dice are back in. So here we go. Turn 6.
It is for the barbarians. So, I think the spearmen are going to charge your priest.
Okay, I'm going to try and steal their order dice.
Yep.
So I have to do this before the order check. Passed, so I steal their dice. So it means that the bear will be able to go. However,
Spearmen cannot.
Spearmen cannot, and are now sitting ducks for my archers. It's not the end of the world.
For the knights.
Okay, so now we have a situation. We have a big nasty bear. We've got one extra dice, I think, in the bag, if my maths is correct. So the gamble is here. We can either charge the bear with the knights and hope that our armour protects us against the against the bear, or we can try and fireball the bear first, which I think we're going to have to do. So we're going to go with the fireball first. So let's see if we can get this off on a 9 or less, a 3. So almost going to be forced to have to try and dispel this on a 1 or a 2. No, so it's
So my shaman takes.
yeah. Shaman takes the pin. D3. That'll do. 4 hits on the bear at strike value 1. So armour on the bear was 8, wasn't it? We discussed earlier. So down to 7s. 1 fail.
1 fail.
And 2 pins.
So
So
that's his.
is he
one
tough
and
or
only-
is he?
It's his one and only wound gone.
Right, so he's down. Okay, so 1 more wound and the bear dies. It's a bit singed at the minute. But more importantly, 2 pins.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt.
Ooh.
Barbarians. So I'm gonna. So I'm going to hopefully get the bear
Yeah.
charge.
Okay. So 6 or less. Ooh, removes a pin. Where's he going?
He's going into your
Halberdiers.
halberdiers.
Okay. No exchange of fire. Bear comes bounding in. So attacks on the bear. 3.
It is 3, but he has also got irresistible charge and frenzied charge.
So irresistible charge. Roll that first. So it's D3 strike value. So he's got strike value bonus of 2 for this attack. And what was the other one? Frenzied charge.
Frenzied charge, which is same.
Okay, so the bear has 4 attacks because of its frenzied charge.
Yep.
Strength 6, plus 1 for the charge, 7, and ridiculous strike value. So here we go. We have 4 hits.
4 hits at strike value 5.
Well, so I've lost my leader in that unit anyway, so it's 4 saves. Armour 7, so down to 2s. 2 survived. And arguably one of them was even cocked, but we'll go with the 2 survived. So 2 survived. It puts me on 5 pins though, but I get 5 attacks back, so it's not all bad. So let's try that with some halberds. Plus 1 in strength, so I'm hitting on 6s. Might still be able to take the bear down. Need to in order to survive. 4 hits at strike value 2.
So it is standard res of 8.
So 6s. I think the bear's dead. Bear is dead.
No, the bear is
So the bear
gone.
dies. I lose 2 guys, so if you put me on 5 pins, please. But I actually win the combat because you died. And I get a consolidation move, which will be a retreat, I think. So, next dice, please.
For the knights.
Okay. So, we stole... Whose dice did we steal? We stole the Spearman's dice, didn't we? So these guys here are going to shoot the Berserkers, who I'm taking it are fairly naked. Or are they armed?
They
What's
are
their res?
fairly naked. They're res 6.
6. Okay, so we'll shoot them. So 6 dice. Hitting on 5s with fire order and range. Not very good. Only 1. But resistance on 5 or less.
I shall put that on a normal troop.
Yep. 1 dead. And a pin. Okay. I know they don't like passing order tests, so that should do them.
For the knights.
Okay, archers are going to fire at your wizard. 3, 6 dice on 5s again. A bit better this time, so it's 3. I will put, well, it's 1 on each anyway, so it makes no difference. So strike value 1.
So, saving on 4s.
Yep.
Purple one is the shaman himself.
Okay. Shaman is tough though.
Yep.
Which is enough, so pin and 1 dead. Next dice. Okay, Barbarian dice. So the Barbarians are going to charge the heavily armoured knights, so it's attacks versus armour. Let's see how this goes. So in they go.
In they go.
Do I have to pass the agility check still though? They would do, because it's a sprint.
Yes, it's still a sprint.
They need to pass this one, but they don't like it, so...
Nonetheless,
No, they didn't like it, so an extra pin. That could be critical.
that's not going to be good.
Okay. So, whilst Sam just checks his rules, I will do the attacks for the knights. So they are armed with swords, so they're hitting on 6s. There's a total of 8 of them. So we're looking for 6s. Oh, that's not very good at all. So it's only 3 at strike value 1. So Sam, 3 hits at strike value 1.
Yeah.
So saving on 5s.
Yep. I'll put them on normal troops.
Yep. Reroll that one. 1 dead, so it'll be an extra pin. So not that great. So you've got a good chance here, I think. But you do need to kill 4 to force it. Okay, so how many attacks?
I have 8 attacks.
Yep.
4 standard and doubled for
Yep.
berserk.
Are you savage?
I am savage.
So you're re-rolling misses.
Yep. I'm strength 5, so 6
Plus
on the
1 for the weapon, plus 1 for the charge, 7s. And re-rolling misses, unless there's zeros. No zeros, but a couple of misses in there. Okay, so 1 miss. So it's 2, 4, 6, 7 saves to make. I've got 8 knights, so I'll put 1 on the leader. And the rest will be on the knights. So it's strike value 1.
Yep.
Armour 8, so we're looking for 7s. 1 knight falls. Okay, but that's going to be enough for the berserkers to lose the combat. So break test. Unless you're immune to it, which I don't think you are.
No.
Nope.
So they are command 8.
Yeah, so -3.
So 5 or less.
Yeah, so I win the combat. Shall I fight on? I've got a pin, you've got 3. You're not doubling your attacks now, are you?
No.
So in which case I will fight on. Okay, I need to put my pin over that.
It's taking weight.
Okay, so this time it is 2, 4, 6, 7 attacks. I'm winning the combat now, +1, so +1 for the swords. I'm on 7s. Hitting on 7s. That's 3, 4, 5. Split between 3 guys.
So,
Strike value 1.
1 each. And then, so, 1 on the lead, 2 on the leader.
Yep.
On
-1.
5s.
Yep. Passed.
2 on a normal troop.
Passed.
And then the last one on the other normal troop.
Failed. So 1 goes down.
Pin.
And 3 attacks back.
On 6s.
6s this time. Reroll that one. So 3. Put 1 on the leader. Looking for 7s. All saved. So again, you lose the combat.
So I need a 4 or less.
Yep. 8 is a fail. D6 pins. And that's destroyed. So they get mopped up by the knights, and the knights get a consolidation. Okay, next dice.
For the Barbarians.
Yeah.
So, Shaman,
Yeah.
is going to
Order check.
stand on fire, hopefully.
6.
So, yep.
Nope.
Right,
Goes down.
he goes down. For the Knights.
Okay. So we're going to go for the jugular now and try and mop this battle up and bring it to an end. So the priest, seeing the shaman shaking, is going to charge the shaman. Okay, so it's a sprint into combat. So 5 or less. Yep, no pin. In he goes. Now, because the shaman is down, this is not a simultaneous combat. So the priest gets to go first. They're all armed with maces, so or swords. So +1 strength and +1 for the charge. So they're on 7s. 2 successes. Okay, 1 on each. At strike value 1.
So the purple one is the leader.
Yep.
I'm saving on 4s.
Leader failed, but he gets tough. Still failed. So leader is
Shaman is dead.
Shaman is dead. Okay, so that's him done. Shaman dies, but his buddy there gets to fight back. Shaman doesn't because it wasn't simultaneous.
So he is hitting on a 5.
6 because he's got
6
sword.
because of the hand weapon, and he's got savage.
Okay. He hits anyway.
Yep.
I'll put it on my priest. So I need a 5. Failed. Got tough. Nope. So he takes a wound, but he's still alive. And then a command check on the barbarian.
So on a 4.
She does. I will fight on, because I want to try and steal the dice. So 3 dice, looking for 7s. 2 successes, he's got to make 2 saves, and looking at 4s. Which he does. He gets 1 attack back.
On a 6.
Yeah, on the priest. Fails. Tough reroll. Passes. Okay, so it's a fail again. So break test on the barbarian.
On a 4.
Yep. Passes again. So this time they just break off. You break off first, so you've lost. So 5 inch. And then I consolidate away as well. Nice.
The Knights.
The Knights. These Knights are going to try and pass an order check. Which they do, so they remove the pin. And buoyed on by killing the beasts, they're going to charge the spearmen here. Okay, so the spearmen get to overwatch effectively. So 2, 4, 6, 8 spears, needing 3s. Hoping for no casualties, but expecting a pin. I do get the pin and 3 saves. So all saved, but they go into combat with a carried pin. Okay, so here we go. Knights charging in, so +2 effectively, swords and charge. 2 misses. 5 hits at strike value 1, so saving on 6s.
So normal troops.
1 fails. Okay. 8 return attacks, hitting on 5s with re-rolls because of savage. So you can't re-roll the 0s. It's just that 1/8 missed. So 3 misses. Total of 5. I'll put 1 on the leader. Okay, and we're saving on 7s with the strike value 1. Okay, so re-roll for the leader, which passes. I lose 2 knights, so it's a draw. We will fight on, as you've lost the savage roll, so we'll go with that. It's a draw, so no winning bonus. So 3, 4, 5. 5 knights, hitting on 6s. This time 3. 3 for you to save on 6s.
Normal troops.
One more dies. And you have 2, 4, 6, 7 return attacks on 5s. With no reroll this time. That is 3, 4 successes. So again, 1 on the leader. For 7s, 2 more die. So the knights have actually lost this combat due to the weight of numbers. And they're on 5 pins. However, they are also zealous, so they ignore the pins when taking the break test. So it's Foot Knights is an 8, which they get. So we just break away. Okay, next dice.
For the Barbarians. So, on a hopeful order check.
Yeah.
On a 7.
Yeah.
No.
Down they go.
They go down. Still lose that there. For the Knights.
Okay, so we're going to try and again mop this field up. So these knights are going to attempt to charge, which they pass, and in they go against the spearmen. With 4 pins, I'm hopeful that they will do enough. So you get to stand and fire, so 2, 4, 6 on 3s. 1, which is enough for a pin. On a standard, on the pink knight, he's fine. Okay, so we've got 3 horses, hit on 6s, 2 successes, at strike value 1. We've then got 2 lances, at strike value 3, and then we've got 3 attacks. Oh. So it's 3 at strike value 1 and 2 at strike value 3. So 5 saves to make in total.
So I shall put the strike value 3s on the normal troops.
Yep.
And then all on normal troops.
All on normal troops, okay.
All on normal troops. So
2 strike value 3s.
which will be 4s.
Yep. 1 survived and 1 died.
And then on 6s for the strike value 1s.
And another 1 dies. And you get 6 attacks back on 5s. That is only 4, but you're zealous, you're savage, so you get to reroll the misses first round of combat. So 1 more, so that's 5 saves. So 2 on the leader, 2 on pink, 1 on blue. So on the leader, he fails, so he's on his last wound and takes a pin. Pink survives because it's only strike value 1, and blue survives. Okay, so the barbarian forces there with 6 pins clearly lose the combat and need a 1 or a 2 to avoid running for the hills, which they fail to do. D6 pins, 2 or more and they're destroyed, and they're gone.
Yeah, gone.
Okay, as we enter the closing stages of this this battle report, the knights get to have a go. So the only thing we've got left, I think, is the green knight, isn't it? Why have we got another dice in there?
Second set of archers.
No, they've both got 1. Oh, they've not.
We've got 3 or 4 Foot Knights over there.
So they will do a rally over in the corner. So they've got 3 remaining men at arms. They've lost their leader, so they need a 7, which they get. D6 pins, so they've lost all their pins.
For the Knights.
Green Knight. So he's going to try and pass an order check. which he does. Can't remove a pin because he's got X wounds. He's got 2 wounds, so he can't remove his pin. And he's going to charge the lonely Wizard's Apprentice and challenge him to the death. So in he goes. Let's just double check that. I think that's definitely more than 16. Yep, just. So in he goes. So agility check first. Fails the agility check, he's going to be on equal pins, which he doesn't. The horse hits and he hits twice, so it's 2 saves at -3, 1 save at -1.
So the red ones are -3?
Yeah.
So the red ones are 2s and the black one is 4s.
Right, so he's dead. Does he get to take the Green Knight down, who's only got...
I was down.
Oh, you were down, yeah, so apologies, he was down, so he doesn't get to react, so he is wiped out.
He is completely gone.
And the Green Knight consolidates. Okay, so the Barbarian cavalry are going to try and
do something.
Kill the Knights by passing an order check and try and wipe the remaining foot Knights out. So 6 is a pass.
So
agility check on the way in.
Yep.
Definitely in range. So
agility 5 or less.
Passed it. In they go with no pins against Knights with 5. It's not going to look good here. So can the armour of the Knights hold firm? We've got 3. Exchange of fire from the cavalrymen as they throw their spears on the way in. So on 3s.
3s.
1 hit, it's enough for another pin. Put it on my leader. Passed. Okay, here we go. So 3 attacks from the cavalryman. With 6s.
Savage.
With Savage. So we're looking at 6s re-rolling misses, except if there's a 0. 3 hits. 1 on each. Strike value 1, so we're 8s down to 7s. 1 Knight falls, which is yet another pin, so we're up to 7 pins. Not enough to destroy them. 3 attacks back from the Knights, hitting on 6s. The Knights hit twice at strike value 1.
So 1 on the leader, 1 on the normal troop.
Okay.
Purple is the leader.
And
saving on 7s.
7s. Both survived. So the Knights have to take a break test on an 8 or less, which they pass. Do you want to fight on?
Yes.
Okay, so you're winning the combat, so you're at +1, so you're on 6s to hit. No Savage this time. Right, 1 on each. Blue's the leader. Both survived. 2 return attacks by the Knights on 6s. 1 success.
I'll put it on the leader. On a 7.
Yep. Okay, so again, break test on an 8 or less. They pass. And the cavalry break away, not being able to open the tin cans.
No.
So after a close battle there, unfortunately the Barbarians failed to reach the village and pillage all of the fine French ladies. And as such, as we pan away, we can see that the Barbarian and what remaining soldiers he has are leaving the shores and returning home. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Leave some comments in the comment section below, and we'll get you some more battle reports soon. So thanks to Sam for taking part, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.